What's up, everyone? Mike here with Carolina Blue Smoke Barbecue and Outdoor Cooking. I'm sitting in my recliner, feet up, with the Recteq Bull set to 550. The joys of technology nowadays, right? I still put wood splits on a reverse flow smoker and a vertical smoker. But this is nice. So this is the first time on the Bullseye that I'm cooking a Boston butt. And normally I put it on low and slow all night long. I take my time with it. But this time it's about to go bad. It's been pouring down rain here in North Carolina in July. And I got to get this thing cooked. I don't want to waste it. So it's about 6:30 in the morning. I've already put mustard on it, put some Killer Hogs rub on it. Now, something I'm trying that I've always done with the RT700 is I'm putting a couple of chunks of cherry and hickory on the deflector plate, and I've got it cranked up to 550 to try to get that fire started on it, get it lit. Then I'm going to bump it way back down to like 250, and I'm going to smoke it for 2 or 3 hours at that temperature on the Bullseye. Then I'm going to crank it up to about 300 and go hot and fast. 300 or 350 is hot and fast for me. Some people consider 275 hot and fast, but I'm going to crank it up to about 300, let it ride. Another thing you'll notice is that, you know, for 30 years of cooking barbecue, over 30 years, closer to 40 years, I always left the fat cap on. And about the last 4 or 5 years, I've took it off, and I like it much better. There's so much fat in a pork shoulder or Boston butt that the fat cap and the juice dripping down and all that kind of stuff, I did it for that way for 30 years. But these last 4 or 5, I've took and cut that down to about 1/8 of an inch on the fat cap side. You can leave it 1/4 of an inch, but it creates so much bark at the very end of it. And I love those seasoned little nuggets of goodness that ends up being the bark at the very end. So let's try this out today, see how it goes. Again, we're going to bump it up and go hot and fast eventually. They say the first 4 to 5 hours is all that the meat accepts the smoke flavoring. So we're going to do that first 4 or 5 hours. I'm going to try to even go throughout without putting aluminum foil on it. We're going to try to go all the way just hot and fast with it until it reaches 195 to 200 internal temp. So hang out with us. I'm sure I put some B-roll in here while I'm yapping my mouth, but let's go. Let's do this first pulled pork on the Bullseye Deluxe. Let's do it. All right, so it's been 2.5 hours. We are going to open this up, and we're getting ready to bump that temperature up to 300 because I want to finish this off, put it in a cooler, and rest before we eat tonight. There is the look. I did briefly about an hour ago open this up and spritz it with the third water, third apple juice, third apple cider vinegar. Earlier, I don't know if I told you, but I did put this pan, you probably saw it, underneath this to catch the grease, so there won't be a grease fire. And I don't know how much smoke those wood chunks have really gave off. Once I cut the temperature back down, it looks like it kind of died out. So don't know if that really worked this time or not, but we'll see. Let's go ahead and spritz this and then crank the heat up. All right, I am going to hit it with a little bit more rub before I spritz it. on this top side. Now, if it's got sugar in the rub at about 275, it could burn. So by cutting it up to 300, you have to be careful on that. So just reminder of that. But let's go ahead and spritz it. That's why you have to water down the apple juice too, so it doesn't burn. But we're spritzing this thing. You smell the apple cider vinegar too, so let's go ahead and let it roll. And we probably won't open it up again for another 2 to 3 hours. All right, it's been 6 hours. We're right at 300. It just went down to 298, 299. We're gonna open this up, take a look at it. We're gonna spritz it. We're also gonna check the temp, see what the internal temp is. 6 hours into the cook. Woo, and it smells great, and it's looking great. Man, be some good stuff. Look at that bark. Love that bark on it. Splitting at the top. Where we left just a little bit of that fat on top. Let's check the internal temp. All right, we're going to check the internal temp. We're at 181 already on that end. Bones over here, 174. So we may just be right at the stall or just past the stall. We're going to let this thing run between 195, 200 without wrapping it, so we can get some really good bark on this. And I like the way this is looking. I'm going to hit it one more time with some light rub and then some spritz on top of it. All right, going to hit this just a little bit more rub. And I don't flip it. Some people flip them around and do the top and bottom. I don't. I just let it ride the whole time. I used to flip them. Don't do it anymore. Let's just go ahead and spray this down now. Smell that apple cider vinegar. I'm sure some of that is the apple juice that's burning down there, but it don't smell burnt. It's got a good smell to it. It's been 7 hours. And look at that. That's what you call bark. Not burnt, but a bark. Looking good. Let's check that internal temp. Let's check this thing. 202, 203. Pulled it up a little bit, 199. 195 there, 194. This thing is done. 204 there. 7 hours on a just under 9-pound Boston butt. Let's go ahead and double wrap this. So we double wrapped this, and then I put it in a Cambro cooler, wrapped it with a towel, and we ate at about 6 o'clock. So this was in for about 3.5 hours in the cooler. After 3.5 hours, I took this out. And I'm gonna tell you what right now. Normally I wear cotton gloves underneath my, my nitro gloves. This thing was still extremely hot, but man, check that bark out that was on this. I mean, it just had a great bark to this top and bottom. I always go through and clean the fat out. Some people just take the bone out, put it all together. But, my son and my wife, if they got a big piece of fat in it, kind of turns their stomach. I'm kind of the same way, but
So I went ahead and go through, break it out. But man, this bark was great. That seasoning, Killer Hogs, is also great. I do like their hot rub as well. So as I mentioned, this turned out awesome. Just, man, I can't say enough of how good this turned out. We ate it on some sandwiches. Some of us used barbecue sauce, some did not. But hey, hot and fast, $250 for the first couple hours and $300 the rest of the way. Turned out great.